Hey, what's up guys? I'm BTC. Blizzard just updated the Overwatch PTR with some pretty huge buffs for some of the characters and also a massive mobility nerf for Doomfist. Earlier today, Blizzard did drop that patch on the PTR, so what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to go through all the stuff they changed, but I'm also going to show you what they changed, and I'm going to have a comparison of what the live version is versus the PTR, so you can see for yourself just how much of an impact that is going to have. Now, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, because anytime they make changes like this, I'll always make a video with in-depth patch review and analysis, so make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss any of it. We're going to start with the brand new character Doomfist. They nerfed him pretty bad. His mobility was hit really hard. So his rocket punch, total distance traveled reduced by about 20%. This change has been on the PTR for a little while now. They actually did a stealth nerf a couple days ago. I already made a video about it. Basically, they didn't tell us that they were nerfing him. They just did it, and we kind of figured it out. But his total distance is reduced a little bit. He can still go quite far, though, so this isn't too terrible. Next up is his seismic slam. Added a new UI indicator to show how much damage it will deal and how much it dealt. Previously, this was only indicated by the default crosshair filling in, but this is only visible when using the default crosshair. The new indicator should always be visible regardless of any crosshair changes. Also, targeting this ability while in the air is now restricted to locations lower than your current height. So this is a two-part thing. The indicator for the damage is cool. I mean, it just kind of shows you how much you're going to do. It's not really that big of a deal, but it's nice to have, certainly. The other thing, though, is the restriction. He can now only go to locations that are lower than your current height. This is a massive nerf to his mobility. So before, you could jump and uppercut and then use seismic slam to get to higher ground or to get to some other areas that would definitely help you get an advantage on an enemy. It really was pretty good for his mobility, but now you can't do any of that, and you can only go to stuff that's lower than you. So his mobility for that vertical kind of escape and attacking routes and stuff has been massively nerfed. There are some other nerfs to Doomfist, but we'll get to those a little bit later on. So next up is McCree. His flashbang now slows targets significantly when they are stunned. This makes them less likely to slide away around a corner or something similar once they're stunned. This one is really difficult for me to show because it's kind of related to lag almost. Basically, when you stun somebody, they shouldn't move, so it should be easier for you as the McCree to then line up that headshot or the fan the hammer follow-up or something like that in order to kill them after you flashbang them. Next up is Reaper, Shadowstep, voiceover and sound effects distance dramatically reduced. So I'm going to have to show you these one after another, and you can really tell that there's a difference. So for when you're using it, you're not going to be able to tell. It's going to sound the exact same.
Repositioning. Repositioning.
Now, when an enemy uses it, you're going to be able to tell there is a huge difference in the volume.
Death comes. Death comes.
So as you just heard, that's a pretty significant difference. It's still probably too loud, but it's a lot better than what it was before. I mean, before Reaper, when he teleported, everyone on the map would know about it. Now it's, you know, a little bit better there. But there's still a lot of problems with Shadowstep. It's way too slow. Yeah, I know it's a teleport, but it's an out-of-combat teleport. It's not like Tracer's Blink where you can just use it whenever. You have to use it out of combat, and when you use it, you can't cancel it. Like, as soon as you start it, you basically are completely locked into it for, I believe it's a full 2 seconds. And also the visual effects, yeah, they address the sound effects of it, but the visual effects basically are almost on par with McCree when he's using his ultimate. So it's so easy to just kill a Reaper when he's teleporting because it's so unbelievably slow and so easy to see. And the last problem with shadowstep is probably the most frustrating thing about it, which is just how finicky it can be. If you're trying to teleport up onto a ledge or into a window, or if there's any sort of fencing or something in the way, then it basically just becomes a nightmare. You can spend like 10 to 15 seconds trying to teleport to somewhere because the shadowstep just doesn't want to lock where it should be locking onto. I really wish they would speed it up and kind of reduce a little bit of the visual stuff as well. Next up is Reinhardt. His hammer has been kind of bugged for a little while, and they're addressing it with this patch. So his swing speed was increased by 10%. That's a raw DPS increase. On top of the swing speed increase, we've gone through and tweaked many timings and other things about the hammer to make it more responsive. Overall, it should feel a lot better to swing and make contact with enemies. So not only is it a little bit faster, but the problem with the live version of Reinhardt's hammer, his swing, was that it felt unusually sluggish, and like when you would actually make contact with the enemy wasn't necessarily in the same spot as it always is, depending on your latency and stuff like that. So it was really weird. It looks like they've addressed all that, and they just gave him a raw DPS increase on top of it. Next is his charge. Impacting another charging hero, either Doomfist or Reinhardt, no longer deals damage to both characters, but still causes a knockdown on both. So previously they would both take a little bit of damage if it was a Reinhardt charge, and also Doomfist would win. He had higher priority with his punch over Reinhardt. But now they've changed that so that anytime two of those are charging together, they're going to basically just cancel each other out and do a short stun on each other. So this is a slight nerf to Doomfist because he lost his priority, but it's, you know, it's not really that big of a deal. And the last hero is Zarya, Graviton Surge. Now disables all movement abilities of affected targets. This is similar to how Junkrat's Trap affects abilities. So it's not exactly like Junkrat's Trap, but it's pretty close. So what used to happen with Zarya is you would throw out the ultimate and you would catch like a Reinhardt and a Genji and a Mercy. And what would happen is the Reinhardt would just charge right out of the ultimate, Genji would just dash out of it, and then Mercy somehow would very, very slowly float out of it towards one of her allies. So a lot of the characters that you would hit with the Graviton Surge could just get out of it. Now, that can't happen. There's only a couple of abilities that can actually escape the Graviton Surge now. So anything that grants invulnerability, like Reaper's Wraith Form or Zenyatta's Transcendence, or if an ability explicitly says that it gives you movement protection, like Orissa's Fortify. But other than that, everybody else that gets caught in a Graviton, they are now stuck there and they are not going to be able to get out. So this is definitely a buff to Zarya, who is already a very powerful character and already synergizes quite well with like the whole dive comp type stuff. So I'm actually a little bit concerned that this ult change is going to make her a little too good, and then they're going to go and nerf something else on her. I hope they don't, but that is a concern. So there you have it, guys. Those are all the changes for the PTR right now. They did say that they plan on buffing Roadhog as well. So again, whenever they make that change, I'll be sure to let you guys know as soon as it happens. So let me know what you think about these changes. Give your feedback down in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to check out my Discord server where you can join the community and find other players to group with. The link for that is in the description. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button. Remember, always blame the controller because it's never your fault. Also, special thanks to all my Patreon supporters for helping to make this all possible. If you'd like to see what kind of cool rewards you can get for supporting the channel, check the links on screen and down below.